This is Multiplaying, episode 15 on November 13th, 2009.
Everybody online, looking good.
A companion podcast to the collaborative blog and gaming community that's playing as life allows. This is Multiplaying.
Well, let's start the insanity.
We have clearance, Clarence. Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
Hello?
Great heavens! What kind of radio show is this?
Hello, everybody. On the show today, we have Brian.
Hey.
TJ.
Hey.
I always want to say TJ Hooker whenever I say that.
No, I gave that up for Lent, and I've actually managed to keep it this year.
Saving money. Devin.
Hello.
And myself, Steve. Let's just get right to it tonight. What you been drinking and playing, Brian?
I'm drinking some weird-ass juice vodka kind of concoction.
Just whatever you could grab.
Yeah. Anything we could.
But what type of juice?
It's, I don't know. It's some like...
It's an unmarked can of some...
pomegranate, blueberry, orange, Frankenstein juice.
Did the wife pick that up?
Yeah, I think she picked it up for my daughter.
Is that what they call Monster Energy drink in Canada, Frankenstein?
We drink Beaver Buzz up here. That's
the Beaver Buzz?
Beaver Buzz.
You know, we used to have a Beaver beer down here outside Kent, and it was sold in 1-gallon bottles.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What would it taste like?
It was disgusting shit.
It wasn't Canadian, was it?
No.
Yeah.
But it had a beaver on it?
Yeah, it
That's
was called Beaver beer.
Canadian as it gets.
Anything with beaver on it can't be bad.
That would get appealed so quickly in America. It'd be offensive to somebody.
Oh, this was 10, 12 years ago. It was much less politically correct.
I'm talking about Beaver Buzz.
Oh, I was thinking just beavers in general. I mean,
So what you been playing, Brian?
Actually, it's been a rough week, so just a little bit of Torchlight and maybe like an hour of Ion, and unfortunately, that's about all I've had time to play. So, although I did pick up Dragon Age Origins, I just purchased it this morning and left it to download while I went to work. So, I'll be starting that as soon as we're done here.
Awesome.
bastard.
Yeah, I broke down. I just been reading so many or listening to so many podcasts, and everybody's on the verge of spoilers, and they're being kind and they're holding back. But I know that like they can only hold back for so long, and the next time I listen, they're going to say something, and I'm going to go, "Damn it!" So I just broke down and picked it up now.
And it's one of those. I just keep thinking, I want to get it, and I just haven't broke down yet.
Yep.
And every time I turn around, everyone at the office, "Oh, have you tried this out?" No. And I'm getting closer and closer. If it wasn't so freaking busy, it'd be probably in my Steam download now.
Yep. That's the other thing too. I've been having, because of the rough week, I decided to treat myself this weekend. So, but yeah, and it's funny. It's for the previous 2 weeks, the big game was Torchlight. Everybody was talking about it, and now it's Dragon Age Origins. That's the one everyone's kind of going on about, and it's unavoidable. I bowed to peer pressure.
Yeah, the Gamers with Jobs podcast. I listened to that this morning at work, and yeah, they had quite the good discussion about Dragon Age on it, and about the DLC shenanigans that went on with it, and it's quite the good show.
Yeah, I listened to that too.
It was great.
Yeah, and I don't know, how do you like? I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, on one hand, they both made good points, but
yeah, they made really good points about the DLC that was slyly added into the game, like day one DLC. And the one guy really made some good, valid points of why it's not a bad thing, that it's still adding to your game. And I think most of his points I agreed on, but just like the one thing that still sticks out in my mind that I totally disagree with is that part of that DLC adds to your inventory space, and that right there alone just seems like that's shitty. That's just really shitty.
Yeah, that is
day
really
one
good
you can
point.
buy DLC that would add to your inventory space. That the guy even said that you really want that, but I didn't mind spending the money on it. It's like, I do. I really mind spending. I'm not buying that. Not yet.
Yeah, I'm paying full game price for something. I deserve the full game. If you want to have extra stuff that I would miss based on only the fact that it would be fun,
Right.
then fine. But if it's something that's very utilitarian and is gonna, those are the sort of things. It's almost like buying a car, and it's fine. I didn't pick up the the package with the moon roof or whatever.
Yeah.
But hey, also it only comes with 3 wheels.
Yeah.
Sons of bitches. Here's the upgrade package for the 4th wheel.
I don't know. It's kind of shitty, but at the same time, it's like then you look at if they just would have held it for like a couple months and then added it, would you have been mad?
If it had I guess that's a good point. If the
inventory thing still would have made me mad.
Really, I don't know if I would have now.
See, I think nothing would have made me mad except for the inventory thing. That still would have made me mad like later on because then I would have looked back and went, man, I really could have used that back then.
Yeah.
But everything else about it, I don't think I would have been as nearly as angry if they just would have held on to that DLC for a couple months. But, oh well. I didn't buy it. A lot of people did. Good for them, I guess.
And I don't mind them doing it overall, though, because, I want these companies to do well. I want them to earn money, and this is a way of diversifying their business models. And so I'm open to that as long as, they've got to constantly sort of ride that line of making sure that I'm getting value. And as long as they keep that up, I don't care what they do to try and sort of entice me to get to buy other stuff.
Yeah, if anything, there's a lot of companies out there that don't deserve to be able to do that, but BioWare is one of the very few that you can. Okay, it's BioWare.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, for your for the paid downloadable content, you do have. It's another route for BioWare to at least make some money on folks out there cheating out the system and getting non-legitimate copies of software.
Yeah.
So. From their standpoint, it's a very good business move purely by saying, hey, you know what? We know for every 20 copies of this, 2 are going to go out to somebody else.
Yep.
And if someone just spends whatever the price is, I actually haven't even looked.
Was it like $7 or $10 or something like that?
I think they said it was 7.
That's $7 or $10. That's what, a fifth? A little bit less than a fifth of the cost of the game.
Yeah.
They start getting people to start buy that. They're not making up for their losses, but they're making a dent into them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's McDonald's. It's nothing.
So.
Right. Anyways, TJ, what you been playing?
Well, I've actually had a shitty week at this week as well, but I've played a whole lot of stuff for a little bit of time. Last week, actually, my Microsoft TAM at the office hooked me up with a connection to their employee base or their employee store, so I bought my copy of Windows 7 and installed that. But I had some extra cash left over there that I could spend, so I picked up a bunch of stuff for my Xbox. Okay. And I've been wanting to get Fable 2 for a long time, and they had it there for $10.
Ooh, wow,
damn!
Must buy.
So it might have been 20. I don't remember. It was either 10 or $20. It was cheap enough that I said okay. And spent the money on that. So I played through the beginning part of Fable 2 and literally, I think, just out of the noob zone and then into the first actual chapter a little bit. And then I played some Plants vs. Zombies. I've been on calls all week at work. So that was a good distractor. And then I've been helping Todd out and with his beta, pre-alpha, alpha, whatever test you want to call it for Dangerlands. And that was pretty cool.
I can't get into that. Every time I go to get in, it says that a connection can't be made and try again later.
Every time I try to get in, it says error reconnecting, then it drops me in.
Yeah.
There was one time that I did get some weird, funky error that I just did an F5 and hit connect, and it brought me right back in.
Huh. See, I had a couple problems like that where it would, like basically every time it would say reconnecting and jump into the game. But yeah, I haven't had a ton of problems with it. I've probably jumped into it 5 or 6 times so far. I think I walked entirely around the zone at one point, but yeah, it's looking pretty nice.
Yeah, I've gone through the zone. He's been adding things. I was in last night for a couple minutes, and he added some effects. There was fires in some of the fire pits that I noticed the other day, and it brought out a lot. And he's been doing a lot with it. It's looking really good.
It's pretty amazing to get to see. Even though it's a small-scale game, it's kind of neat to see it on the development of a game on such a close level from a pal's point of view.
Yeah, it really gives you better appreciation for games, even when they're not up to certain expectations.
Yeah. I mean,
I think you just got yourself excluded from the closed beta there, Devin.
Well, no, not not necessarily winnings. I just mean MMOs in particular. All the MMOs have been failing lately. I apologize when I did not mean it that way. He's gonna hate me.
Other than that, just been real life crap. Like I said, I've probably played maybe 20, 30 minutes every couple of days, and that's been it.
Yeah.
So, but I actually missed it. I was actually drinking. I'm drinking one of my favorite beers from Great Lakes Brewing Company. I'm drinking Nosferatu. It's a handcrafted stock ale.
Ooh, cool.
Cleveland, Ohio.
That's an
Named after a
awesome
vampire.
It is, and actually, on all of Great Lakes has got a humorous little side on all the sides of their beers. It has a definition of where it came from, and like their Christmas ale has a little "Oh Christmas beer" song. And I love that one. I already finished a 6-pack of that this week. So,
But
this one actually says it was named after the 1920s film era vampire. So,
All right.
it's a good bitey beer.
Yeah, God. Anyways, Devin, what you been drinking and playing? That was bad, man. That was awful.
I've been doing my time sinking to Ion, just trying to get the 40+ grind over with, and drinking. I am with a rum and Coke right now, Captain and Coke, of course.
Hey, how you feeling about Ion these days?
You know, I've been pacing myself. I have a daily goal, just get a quarter level of XP a day, which isn't that hard with, as a ranger, being able to kite elites. And it really frees up a lot of the extra time I have to, PvP, doing rifting. I went rifting last night with a really good cleric friend of mine, in-game named Mamaji, and we were just having so much fun just taking on lots of Asmos, but we'll get into that more when we get to the Ion section of it.
Cool. All right.
Steve, what you been doing?
Right now I'm drinking a Diet Coke. What I've been playing, though, lots of stuff, but I'll just stick to the main few. Dragon Age Origins, of course, but I am like seriously stuck on a part. I believe I was talking to Jason about this one part. There's a village that you go to. This isn't going to be too spoilerific, so don't worry about it. There's a village that you go to at one point and defend, and I can't get past it. I'll just leave it at that. Anybody that is playing the game will know what I'm talking about, and I'm stuck. I think primarily because my group makeup is kind of crap. I think the game is pretty much designed that you can go with any type of group makeup and be successful, but for whatever reason, I don't have any sort of active healer. All I use is like potions. That's all I got. So I think that's kind of screwing me right now. But I'm trying to work a way around it. But I'm at the point that I've gone through this one part so many times that I'm getting frustrated, and I might just restart and either play as a healer or make sure I set somebody up as a more active healer. But I don't know. Well, I'll work on it some more. I'll probably try it about a dozen more times before I actually give up. So other than that, I've been playing some Uncharted 2 multiplayer. Just a touch of it. I think I bumped my guy's level up to 8 online. And other than that, I actually started playing the Trial of Fallen Earth.
How can you do it?
How can I do it? What do you mean?
I swear to God, that game was... I mean, I logged into that thing, and I was in there for like maybe a half hour before I was convinced that I would never waste another second in there.
I actually played the beta a while back, but I didn't play too much of it. I don't know. It's really weird. I kind of have the same feeling right now that I did in the beta, that it feels kind of wonky. And I'm not real sure what to think about it, but I'm trying out a lot of stuff in the game that I didn't do in beta. Like, I didn't craft in the beta at all. I just went and messed with the combat, and that's it. The crafting is actually, so far, pretty good. And I don't know. I really don't, I'm not going to talk about it too much this week because I've honestly only played about 2 hours of it. So I can't really form any good opinions on the game yet, but I'll probably touch more on it next week. But yeah, right now I'm still kind of at the same part where I think it feels kind of wonky, especially in the combat with the shooting. As a person that plays a lot of first-person shooters, it feels kind of janky.
Yeah.
But
hey, I thought we weren't allowed to say
that was only that one episode. It's fine.
Yep. Okay.
All right, cool.
We can jank the hell out of... Hey, Shannon's not here. We can say janky all we want. She's the janky police.
We got a new janky quota to meet.
That's right. We should have a little ding every time we say.
A janky counter.
For those of you watching, you drink every time that you say janky.
That's not good for the host. This will all be
Oh my God! Somebody say it. But that
for me, it was the graphics. I couldn't stay there for very long because everyone just looks stiff and short and fat, and
that's kind of my problem with the actual look of the game. The environments don't look bad. The environments seriously don't look bad.
It's the same environment. It's like, sort of desert and desolate wasteland. It's not too hard to do.
No, but no. I'm talking like I'm in a town right now that's actually got quite a few buildings in it, and it doesn't really look that bad. I mean, it actually looks pretty broken down and decrepit, like as you would expect. And I'm not like overly impressed by it, but it's not bad. But yeah, the character models, though, on the other hand, were a big sticking point for me when I played the beta. That I just look at everybody and go, okay, they don't look good at all. I mean, the women in the game have makeup on. It seems that they have makeup on, and you don't expect that to be like, okay, shit just blew up. Where did she get the mascara?
That's true.
Well, mascara might just be ash.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, the girl's got to do what she's got to do to look good.
They're resourceful,
I mean, especially when you're trying to reproduce or repopulate the world, right?
Track those mutants.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm definitely going to give it a fair shake, though. There's been so much positive feedback coming out of that game that I wanted to try it. They had a trial a couple weeks ago, and I missed my opportunity to get into it. But the Escapist actually is running I can't remember how many codes they got to give out, but I got in on day one on that. So I think I got about 14 days. So by the time you hear this podcast, if there is even any tickets or codes available, it's probably about over with. So, yeah.
Sucks to be you.
Yeah. Get on the next one.
Recently on Multiplaying.
What I am about to show you next may shock and educate you.
What's been going on Multiplaying? First up on Multiplaying, we have the 2009 blogger charity drive. Farrell from over on Epic Slant gathered a bunch of bloggers together. I think, including us, there's 9 right now. If you go to the site, you can actually see the list of everybody on there. I'll actually just read what the letter. Everybody that's actually involved in this put the same letter on their site with their chosen charity. And this reads: "The holidays are almost upon us again, and this year the MMO Blogging Alliance wants to help ensure a good season for all. We've decided to pull together and encourage our readers to donate to those less fortunate. It's been a tough year for many families across the world, and a little boost can go a long way. Please consider donating to one of the many charities that we recommend, or you can select your own. If you're a blogger and you'd like to participate in our drive, it's as easy as writing a post, including this at the top, linking to the other posts, and picking a charity to donate to. Let's show everyone that in 2009, the MMO community can make a positive difference in the world." We, and I think a good deal of the other blogs, have chosen Child's Play. So if you want more information on that, go to the site and scroll down until you find the 2009 blogger charity drive.
And I thought this was the coolest thing that a group of people could get together and do as a disparate group of individuals. When Steve brought this up, it was probably 2 months ago.
It was a long time ago, yeah.
That this finally came up. We all sat down and said, "Hey, this is a great idea," and can fully get behind this. This is something that I think everybody and anybody who's got the means, go on out and if not Child's Play, pick something else that means something to you.
And if you go through the list of the people that are on that post, I think probably about half of them have gone along with Child's Play, but a few of the other ones, a few of the other blogs have actually chosen different charities. So check those out, or just if you feel in the spirit and you have your own charity that you either already donate to, just already go for that, or whatever.
Holy
Happy
crap.
holidays! What?
Child's Play is at just over 450K in total contributions.
Yeah.
So that's really good.
Not due to us, but
No.
No, we don't get that type of volume.
hopefully we had somebody donate towards that. That'd be great.
So let's see here. MBACD. Yeah, I just figured out what that finally meant. I was looking at it and staring very hard, saying, "What the hell
MMO
is that?"
Blogging Alliance charity drive.
Yeah.
All right. Also on Multiplaying now for the other content, Rare a few days ago posted up a cheap holiday gift ideas guide. He had, I'm going to open that up real quick. It had Assassin's Creed, BioShock, and Mass Effect as a few examples of things that you can go out there and get for relatively cheap before Christmas here if you're looking for a low-cost alternative to these $60 or $50 games out there. And I know, at least for me, I picked up Mass Effect because last weekend it was on sale for $10 on Steam.
Yeah, it's a crazy deal.
And I'm one of those few stupid people that have actually never played that game, or so I've been told. I'm stupid because I've never played that game. So
I never actually played it either, and when I heard and I went looking, I'm like, damn it, the deal's over.
Oh, you missed it?
Yep.
I have it. I have it, and I didn't finish it.
Really?
I don't know what happened. It lost me.
Really?
Yeah, I got to. First of all, I didn't care for the combat. It felt like I wanted it to be a real shooter, and it didn't feel like it had enough shooter qualities to it for me. So I didn't dig that, and I thought that the writing was terrible. I know a lot of people really dug the story, and I thought it was just terrible.
But there's a sex scene.
Yeah, yeah, you got to throw in one of those. Yeah, I don't know.
Debbie Downer, you're being.
I can't help it. I wanted to like it. I love sci-fi games more than it's my favorite genre of, movie and novel, and so video games. I thought this would be a slam dunk, and I really liked the sort of city area, which I can't remember what it was called. I liked the city area, but once it got into combat, it was just kind of meh for me. So I don't know. I plan to go back one day and give it another fair shot, because maybe it was just the mood I was in, or maybe this was about 6 months ago that I picked it up. So maybe if I go back and I'm in a different mood, I'll be able to sort of give it a better shot. But
did you play Knights of the Old Republic?
No.
Oh man.
Oh, I've played Cotter.
Yep, I know. I suck. It's one that I really wanted to, and I tried to pick it up, and it wouldn't run on my machine. So
we should be able. I think it's on Steam now.
Yeah, and I plan to grab that before the MMO comes out, so I can try it. Yeah, I'm hoping that Dragon Age is better.
It's a badass game, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's just sad that I'm trying to play, like, I'm juggling so many games right now that I haven't been able to put more time into it.
BioShock sounds like, to me, a story that I'd really, really get interested in, and I want to pick that up as well.
It's one of my probably one of my favorite shooters. There is no multiplayer in it. There's going to be multiplayer in BioShock 2, which, to be honest with you, from the videos that I saw of the multiplayer, and that looks awful. But as far as a single player shooter goes, I mean, Half-Life is still like way up there on my list. Half-Life and Half-Life 2, but this is like right there with it. It's just an amazing game.
Yeah, I want to try it. It looks great. Looks eerie. Looks like a nice sort of fusion of different styles.
Yeah, because I'm not even like a big like scare game. Well, no, I love steampunk. I love steampunk, but like the games that will try to scare you, I'm not a huge fan of those. But this is one that does actually scare me at times. Right. But I love it. The game itself, just the entire vibe of the game is awesome.
Yeah, for me, the big scary game that I played was Doom 3, and it scared me.
Closet zombies.
Yeah, but unfortunately,
no, the ones under the stairs.
The gameplay just got so repetitive.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It scares you the first few times.
Yeah. I actually was just talking to one of my coworkers about that today. He didn't even know it came out.
Doom 3?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm sitting here saying, dude, you can have my copy.
Yeah. Go fight some closet
I'm done
zombies.
with it. I was say the only other thing on that list there was Assassin's Creed, and that was one that I've really got. I when it came out, I was thinking I need to pick that up, and I still haven't even touched it.
I had it on the PS3, and thought it was okay. I didn't like the whole. I don't know. I won't get into it if you've never played the game, but there's a whole like backstory going into it, or side story. I don't know how you want to call it. When you're not actually playing as Altair, that I didn't really care for, but I wasn't expecting going into the game, and it could have done without it. They could have. I wish they would have worked it a different way, but the actual gameplay and everything was pretty cool. Assassin's Creed 2 looks awesome.
Yes, it does.
One of the big reasons I was looking at picking that one up when it first came out is I really enjoyed the Hitman series.
Oh yeah, I played those. I could never get into them.
They're ones that you just have to sit and beat on,
mm-hmm.
and expect that you're going to get your ass handed to you a lot by the AI.
Yeah.
But it's a good repetitive to kind of think about what you did wrong and what you can do next time.
Right.
And I was hoping to get the same thing out of Assassin's Creed, and if that's down in price, I might actually pick that up now.
Yeah, I think I actually have it, and I just haven't played it. But I think I picked it up for like $20, so it's fairly cheap at this point.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead.
Sorry, even if that deal is over, it should still be pretty cheap.
Right.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're fine. Last thing on Multiplaying, the site of the week this week is Dub's Diatribe. You can go and find him at JDub. That's JAYEDUB.blogspot.com. He has been playing Ion, but I don't know that he is anymore. It seems like he might have quit based on his Ion review that he just posted on the 11th.
And he's got hockey clips too. So
he's got hockey clips. I know, and he I believe he's been playing Modern Warfare 2. Seems like a general gamer, and he's been playing Dragon Age. So go check him out. It's very good reads. I seem to think that Ion was a little bit too grindy, though. I think
it is.
It isn't.
It is.
It's a bit grindy, but you can argue if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Right.
So, Devin, is Ion too grindy?
Well, I think it all comes down to personal choice. There's a lot of people that, before the release in North America and Europe, they did give a lot of warning, just so you know, this is a very grindy game. It is a Korean grinder, and from what I hear, a lot of Koreans are just fine. Apparently, the Korean game is still all grinding. There is almost no quests. It's just grind. Like a serious...
Do you know how racist you sound right now?
Hopefully they'll forgive me.
There's a lot of them listening to the podcast.
What I like about Ion is I like the increased time with your character. It kind of forces you to become more adept with it, and it forces you to group more if you can't solo the elites like Rangers or any other range class can. Even at that point, if you're soloing elites, if you mess up, you're going to die. And as all of us know, the death penalty in the Ion is pretty frustrating. So
you get poor pretty quick.
Yeah.
But you die?
So I actually had a 3.5 million XP debt earlier today, so that felt real good to pay off. Yeah, felt real good to pay off. It was more than 5 deaths, but
did they give you lube with that ass?
I wish, because then I had to pay for my skills, which were another 1,200,000.
What are you, 43? You said?
I am 45 now. Actually.
45. My God, man.
Yeah. So it's I enjoy it. It reminds me a lot of Dark Age, in many ways. The almost the force grouping. I really wish they had better group benefits, but at the Dark Age, after a while, introduced the group buffs, and eventually you got the group XP bonus, and you got the massive bonus for hunting out in the RVR areas. So there's definitely a lot of places Ion could improve to make it a lot more palatable. I guess is the best word to use in that. Especially to a casual player base where, older people, they have families, they have kids. They can't sit there like I can for 6 hours a day.
Right.
And grind their face into the keyboard.
Yeah,
that's
I have to admit.
Go ahead.
Sorry, no, you go ahead, Steve.
Oh, I was just all I was going to say was I think it's the point where I'm getting at now. With there being so many games out, that's Ion's kind of been taking the back burner, unfortunately, for me, because I've got 3 or 4 other things that I really want to play. And I know, like, it's like, God, I should get on. And I'm almost 27 with my Channer. It's like, God, I should just knock out 27 one night. But I could go play Dragon Age. I could go play Torchlight, or I could go play this or that.
I want to play Dragon Age so bad. I'll tell you guys right now, if I had Dragon Age, I'd be playing that instead of Ion right now.
Yeah, I have to.
You've got the little. Oh, so you've got the little game slut on your shoulder too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same problem. I mean, I get home and like I said, it's been a rough couple of weeks. So I get home and I'm tired, and I've got maybe an hour's worth of energy, and I know there's nothing I can do in Ion with 1 hour of time.
I can craft if you want to go poor.
You could craft
and
2 things.
Fall asleep. Yeah, and fall asleep. So I could just jump into Torchlight and have a blast for 45 minutes to an hour and kind of feel like I've made some progress in it. And but with Ion, it feels like unless I have a minimum of 2 to 3 hours, I'm not going to see a lot of progress out of my time. And quite honestly, I'm not having fun with the grind right now. I log in and I've even got a few quests, so I'm even directed as to what I can go and do. But even then, it's like, well, I gotta kind of hearth back to, I shouldn't say hearth, I forget what it's called. Recall, yeah. I've got to recall back to here, and then I got to fly over here, and then I got to run out to this area, and there's half of my gaming time right there. So screw it. I'm going to play something else.
Yeah.
I'm sure that I'll get back to it, though.
I've had the same problem, and I think I've logged in for 15, 20 minutes this week, and it was, what do I need to do? Yeah, that's on the other side of the damn world. I'm just going to go do something else.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm still having fun with the game. I still enjoy it.
I guess that's my thing. I still like the combat. I still like a lot of the game's elements, but I think right now I'm at the point where I want to play all these other games and kind of see how much of a boost they give the experience and quests with the next patch, whenever that is. Do we even know when that is?
They released it on the Korean servers yesterday.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get it sooner than later. Then I kind of want to wait. I'm almost thinking maybe not even put too much effort into it right now. See what they do with that, how much of a boost that is, then jump back in and start working it again. But
from what I've seen in the rough translations, it was actually a very, very large boost.
Yeah.
So they understand that, and if you noticed, all the veteran rewards every month they're giving you 4 more Lotus amulets. So they're aware the grind's pretty unbearable to at least the Western crowd.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're expecting this much opposition to it. We're very finicky people.
I still defend the grind to some point, like what you were saying about becoming more in tune with your character, and what we've brought up, I think, in a previous podcast with the article on the site about having it be more of a community builder. But I think, there's enough of an audience that they're going to be losing, or they already are lost because of the grind.
Yeah.
From what I've noticed, Paz is calling me. A lot of the people that are leaving Ion are people who don't have a lot of time to spend on it right now, and they don't want to put up with it because, quite frankly, this coming from my very personal opinion, the biggest problem Ion has is the lack of moderation and support from NCSoft. I read a paper somewhere that it'd be unreasonable to expect them to hire 3 or 4 GMs to apply to each server because that'd be such a huge amount of money sink. But at the same time, 1 or 2 or 1 per 3 servers, he just jumps around. You spend 20 minutes. If you spend 20 minutes in the chat logs with without blocking chat from the gold spammers, you can ban every one of them. You run through Hyron, you run through Theobomos, you run through Verteron, any of those areas. You'll clean it up pretty quick.
Any effort is better than not doing anything at all, I guess.
Exactly.
With as many subs as they have right now, that's still got to be a large number. They should be able to hire somebody to do that.
Yeah, it's not like
that's probably my biggest complaint with it right now is the amount of spammers. And they're doing some things to try to clean it up, and unfortunately they're impacting the rest of the community.
Yeah.
But they're not doing what they need to be doing in order to moderate it. I mean, it shouldn't be that hard of a problem to eliminate me walking through the streets of Sanctum and seeing 12 people sitting on their little stools with their big little signs above their heads saying, "A million kinna, $50 US, www.somefuckingbuyergoldsite.com."
Yeah, exactly. I mean, in Sanctum, for crying out loud, the capital, you know. So, my biggest thing is I would just really would like to see NCSoft kind of just show that they care. Almost, that's what it really comes down to. You know, lack of moderation shows that they really don't care. They did, and if they don't care about this game, it is going to fall on itself.
The one thing that I'm very curious about, I don't know how much control NC West has. I'm curious as exactly how much control they have, how much they have to approve through NC East. Is this ended up being like the whole GOA thing was for War, that Mythic over here would make huge decisions and plans, and GOA always seems so not secondhand. What's the word I'm looking for? Just, I don't know. They didn't seem to be relaying the information very well to the European community. But again, I don't know if that was all GOA's fault or just getting the information secondhand. That's where I wanted to apply that word. I'm just curious as to how this is going to work out. Is it going to be that sort of situation?
From what I understand, as far as the development goes, they have no say whatsoever. Absolutely zero say. So
Right.
I wonder if they can even relay information from the American and the European and the oceanic communities. I mean, if they're even being listened to. But other than just bashing on Ion as we have been for the last 15 minutes, the fun I have been having in Ion is absolutely phenomenal. The combat, the RVR, all that has been. I mean, for me, I did roll a Ranger for that.
Can't say RVR. That's trademark, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. The PvPvE. Yeah.
I think so.
Yep.
Just last night, like I was saying earlier today, me and this cleric friend of mine, Mamaji, we went rifting and we were there for 2 hours. Got 6,000 APs, which technically isn't that much, but it's certainly a good chunk. And at one point, we actually 2v5'd a group. Just me and him took on 5 characters. And this was a Sorc, Channer, Cleric, Templar, and Assassin. Now, granted, I burned my 2k DP skill, which is Malform, which makes Rangers somewhat OP for a while. But,
still, it was fun.
It was a lot of fun. I mean, the Cleric self got rezzed up 3 times, and we dropped her all 3 times. The Templar got away. Or, no, the Assassin got away. The second time he did, but the first time he did. The Slayer system they also have in place kind of ended it really abruptly for us. If you kill too many low ranks, you get the curse on you, and then everybody in the whole zone can see you. So when you die, they'll sit there and watch where that little icon goes, and they'll be able to, they can instantly find your Kisk, and they did. Almost instantly they found it, and they killed our Kisk, and they came and killed us. And our 2-hour rampage of, I don't know, I think I got, let me just look real quick, 160 kills in 2 hours yesterday.
Jeez, ow, man.
Yeah, it was a blast. It was an absolute blast. So, RBR earlier today, we were in the core farming Abyss points. Guilty PvE, but that's really the quickest way to get him at this point. We got jumped by an SM, a Ranger, and Assassin. By the way, one of the Assassins was one of the people talking mad shit on the Iron Source boards before pre-release, so it felt pretty good to get that little person down. So
little person.
Yeah. So
I believe the word you're looking for is bitch.
Yep. So it's really. By the way, I just saw the 50 wings go by me. They look pretty cool.
He's playing right now, ladies and gentlemen.
You're playing the game while you're podcasting.
As usual.
So it's the time just to even grind is a large amount, but if it's how you spend it. If you try to race to each new level, you're going to burn yourself out, and that's what kind of happened to me in the late 30s. I grinded pretty hard, 37 to 41, and I burned myself out for a day or two, and I stopped playing. I played an alt for maybe 2 hours one day, and then my batteries were recharged, and I'm a little more dedicated than people, mostly because it's the only game I have right now to really play. But
burnt out and took a day or two off. Yeah.
But anyway, it's how you play the game to have fun, as with any game. So if log in with a guild group like we can, when everyone gets to a more appropriate level, if we can get everyone on at the same time, it'll be a lot of fun. We sit there and vent. We talk. We be friends. It's almost a family setting. It's great. It's absolutely great.
The one thing that they could add to the game that would immediately make a huge difference for me, and they'd have to still. Yep, that's a good point.
Ding 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 ding.
I guess there's more than one thing. The second thing that they could add is
red light district.
No, that's absolutely not it. Don't like Bud Light.
No, red light.
Oh, I was going to say Bud Light District. I thought it was an American thing.
No, Bud Light sucks.
Oh man. Anyway, it would be from War and the open PVR or RVR groups. Well, sorry, open PvPvE groups. I wish that Ion had something similar, so that if I want to get involved in some PvP, I can just look at the groups that are floating around in the abyss and join up and meet up with them and go.
Oh, you mean where you go into a zone and you see all like the open groups and
you see the open war bands.
Yeah. Those that was a great idea on Mythic's part. Too bad they had a lot of other bad ones, but
Well, the problem with that was you always got kicked out of them anyway. Sorry, this is a guild group. Bye.
That too.
I didn't have that happen too much. I was okay with that. I more often than not, I was able to just join up and all of a sudden follow around, and it was
I guess, but the problem with that, though, I mean, it's a nice thing, but at the same time, wouldn't that kind of add more zergs?
Well, the keep takes as they are very much zergy, but it's how you conduct the battle. Remember, real battles have thousands and thousands of troops on either side for as long as we can remember. That doesn't stop them from doing tactical moves and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You have to physically take the advantage to do the flanking maneuver or to split the enemy thing. That's what was happening in Dark Age. They would have one smaller or somewhat larger group of people come and attack, say, for example, the Albzerg, which was 9 to 10 full groups, which for those of you who don't know is 8 people per group. So that was 80 to 90 people. So some of these fights were 80, 90 versus 80, 90 people, and then this smaller smaller groups come in and they, pardon the pun, they backdoor them. And 9 times out of 10, any inexperienced PvPer is going to panic immediately when they see a somewhat large force coming from behind. And
where I come from, we call that ass jam.
You work for Smuckers.
So it's you have to take the initiative.
What kind of jam?
I guess it took a minute for that one. It took a minute for that one to sink in, huh?
I thought it was just another crazy American thing.
That's just car.
No, seriously though, whenever we played Dark Age, whenever there was a group that I always ran with, especially like doing the battleground stuff, we would see a group like head towards a keep or whatever, and then someone would call out, "Let's ass jam," and then we would run a large loop around them and come up from behind. But anyways, go
every
ahead.
time almost.
It worked fantastically.
So you really have to take the advantage, or the initiative. Sorry, not the advantage. The initiative, if you want to have any sort of tactics in game.
Oh, when you're ass jamming, you're taking advantage.
Yeah, I don't know how you would avoid zergs in any game these days.
I think it's just kind of been bred into people that, if the bigger we are, the easier this will be. But I not to say that's a valid tactic. I mean, yeah, more people it's a hammer coming down on people, but it's less, I don't know.
Less skill, less enjoyment.
Less enjoyment, I guess. That's what kind of made the scenarios in Warhammer good. Yeah, there was a lot of gripes about scenarios even being in the game because it was all about the massive RVR that ended up not working out anyways. But looking back, the scenarios were some of the best times I ever had in that game.
Yeah,
it was loads of fun.
Yep. Because there was no Zerg, right? 10 versus 10, it's those mini battles. There's an objective. and it was instant. You could get in and immediately be in some sort of combat, and then when you wanted to get out, it was done.
Right.
That's right. I've had a lot of different. I've been in Zergs and Ion. I've been in just by myself ganking people, soloing in the Abyss, and I've been in group combat. Which, by the way, I haven't had this much fun in group combat. 6v6s since Dark Age, really. Following assist trains, being in TeamSpeak or Vent. It was TeamSpeak back then, Vent now. And it really was a lot of fun because group synergy comes out so much in this game. That's where you really find out how much of a group PvP game this really is.
That's cool.
And it really was a blast. Like, I can't wait till people in this guild get to 50 and we can just sit there and we can do the 6v6s again, or we can do the 6v12s. I mean, me and a cleric took on 5 people when it was just 2 of us. So that shows you right there that you can take on larger numbers as long as you outskill them once again. So I did. You couldn't do that in War. You can in Ion.
Ion should be like paying you to promote this game. Honestly, because you make it sound so much more fun than what I'm having. And that's not to say I like the game. I think the game is good, but when I listen to you talk about it, that's
the crazy thing. Every time I'm like down on the game, I listen to Tack talk about it a little bit. I'm like, man, that sounds awesome. I gotta get leveling.
I've told him I'll $9 an hour. I'll GM these servers, no problem.
Take care of business.
So, but it just with any game, with any MMO, it's really what I think it is. What you put into it. With War, you couldn't really put a lot into it and get a lot out of it. Not to bash on it any more than it's already been bashed. To be the decayed Wars.
There's bad times right now. I don't think we need to be.
Yeah. It is a breath of fresh air to being in what I believe is an extremely decently well built MMO once again.
He's dead. Oh, but speaking of War, moving on from Ion to other MMO news, just hit some of the highlights from like the last week or so. First off, War actually had cutbacks. EA downsized quite a bit. I can't remember what was it, 1,000 or 1,400 jobs total across EA.
I don't remember the exact percentage, but I thought I saw like 40% of Mythic.
Wow.
Yeah, it sounded like it was about 40% of Mythic. I think it was 80 jobs. That was the rumored number. Again, this is not official, but the rumored number from many sites was saying 80 jobs, which is about 40% of their workforce. So if that is true, that is totally horrible. It sucks. I mean, across EA, it sucks that people are losing their jobs like that. It sounds like EA was just looking at the bottom of their what they saw as profitable business and started making cuts. And at the same time, ended up spending $300 million on Playfish for social networking. So it sucks that they're dropping money on that and then firing people at the same time.
Wait, Playfish? What's that?
That's their social networking, isn't it? Social networking gaming.
Yeah, it's like I don't know what exactly it is, but it was some social networking thing. I think it was might have been their want to get into like the Facebook or Twitter thing. I really have no idea what it is. I had never heard of it until this little buyout.
And they dropped how much on it?
I thought it was like $300 million.
Listen, I make social networks. That's what like my company does. We do it for networks and TV shows.
Oh, okay. Clarification. I had to look it up real quick. It's Playfish is a company that makes games for social networks.
Okay.
They make like Restaurant City and the junk like that you play on like Facebook.
Phew. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense then.
So yeah, it's still a games company. So yeah. But still.
And that is a giant market. It's definitely the direction. They can't ignore that. So.
I wish they would. I really do.
There's money to be had, and
I don't. I don't. Yeah, I get it, but man, I just.
I know what you're saying.
Steve doesn't want to get sucked back into Farmville.
No, I didn't love it anyways, but it's just that when I think that it really aggravates me when they spend $300 million on this shit and fire people that are actually making at least halfway decent games.
Yeah.
That's
people and their families.
Huh?
Yeah, say what you want about War and what you didn't like about it, but
Yeah, I'd rather
the
play
people
War
who
than
worked on that.
Farmville.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the people who've done that worked hard on it, and
They did.
they don't deserve what they got.
No, that's God.
As I said, many condolences to those people and their families. We hope the best for them. Please. Hopefully.
And
Go get a job at
again,
BioWare.
Yeah.
I read through that a couple of different times, and this has been a busy week. But I actually saw over on Frank's blog at Overly Positive, he had a really good write-up of while it sucks, there's things to look forward to.
Yeah.
So he did a good job with that one.
Yeah. Hopefully everything works out for all those people. But moving on to happier news.
Hopefully some of them pull a torchlight.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna make our own gaming studio with
Exactly.
beer and hookers.
So don't do as bad as
No,
Hellgate.
it's Coke and hookers.
Blackjack and hookers.
You got to be able to snort this Coke off the hookers. Drinking beer off hookers is kind of disgusting.
Eh,
I mean, you don't want that in your stomach.
Eh.
Either that,
that
or they
in your
got some
hooker.
big ass belly buttons.
But on to sunnier patches. There is Lord of the Rings Online has a free to play until November 18th. But let's see, if this comes out in the next few days, you only have a few days to play. So get downloading, I guess.
It's like a week, right?
Yeah, I think it's in a week from now. So if you get this in time, get playing, downloading, and playing.
If you've
Wait
never
for the
tried
pressure
it,
on me.
it's definitely worth a shot. It's a quality game.
I didn't like it. I played it like 2 or 3 times. I just could never get into it.
One of the guys at my office says it's a very pretty game.
And that's what everybody says. I think the environments are okay. I didn't like the character models too much, but everybody loves the PvE in it. I didn't think the PvE was bad, but I think personally I didn't get to a point in the game where I could start appreciating it. I'll be honest with that. And I think it's one that if I got that far, I probably would, but I'm a person that always wants some PvP in my MMO, and it doesn't have that except for like the whole monster play thing, but so.
Well, I'll tell you, the reason I never picked it up was I looked at it and I said, it could be interesting, and then I said, you know what, I know how it ends. and that was it. The MMO is supposed to be an open-ended genre that has nothing towards the end of it, and this is,
Yeah.
I know how it ends.
Yeah, that's a good
I think
point.
the thing is they can extend it. I mean, they've already extended it to, I guess it's almost probably coming out to 4 years now.
Yeah.
So they can extend it for a good long time. But
They can build on it forever. I mean, there's a huge market for that.
yeah, and the lore is there, so there's lots to build on there. Yeah, I agree, though. The game looks gorgeous in terms of environments, but the player models are terrible. At least I think so. I couldn't build a character that I could stand looking at for very long. Dwarves were pretty cool, but other than that, it was kind of meh. And the combat is really slow. That was my other sort of complaint. I felt like it was just kind of plodding along, and I would sort of fall asleep as I was playing. Nothing compared to what, the kind of cool combat that Ion has, or Age of Conan, or even WoW. I found WoW to be a little bit more responsive and evolving. But I found I was watching cooldown timers a lot with LotRO.
Yeah, I do have a small correction to make. It turns out it's actually a 10-day trial. I think it goes until the 18th. So I think whenever you start it, it's a 10-day trial.
Oh, wow.
So
that's cool.
There you go. Go check that out. Other news. In Conan news, they actually, and I did not get the link ready for this, and I'm retarded for not doing so, but they actually have a deal going on if you resubscribe to the game right now, and I'm not sure if this only applies to people that had subscribed or not, but I read the word resubscribe. If you resubscribe to the game right now and actually pay up for 3 months in advance, you can get a automatic invite to the Secret World beta,
which is cool.
Yeah, so it's tempting, but not enough to. It's like you're paying for a beta to me, because I don't really want to play Conan.
It seems like you pay for betas more than anything else nowadays. You can get into the beta, just pre-order the game, or you can get into the beta, just subscribe to this other game.
And I don't mind pre-ordering a game to get into beta, because usually I can go pre-order it from a brick and mortar store and then return my pre-order.
True.
I did that with very. I've done that with a lot of games. So.
I'm lazy.
Hey, you game sluts.
Well, speaking of which,
I was.
sorry, I played Age of Conan as well for a couple months, and I didn't play it at launch. I played it after, I guess it was sort of 8 or 9 months in, and they really did improve it, and it's another gorgeous looking game.
It is. I still think it's one of the best looking MMOs I've ever seen. It is fabulous looking. I played the beta, and I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. A few of us were actually gung-ho for it because I love the combat, and I thought the combat was great. How you actually had like different directions you were aiming your attacks based on how your enemy was defending was just like, oh, that's great. And it was just fantastic. Day one, I was in the game, loving it, and then everybody in the group, I think we got all the way up to about 30. And then I think we had got past the whole 20 get out of tortage thing, and just there was like this slow degradation until we got to 30. That we're like, there ain't shit to do in here. And I know now they've gone back and added a bunch, and it's very tempting for me to go back and see that. Maybe if I knew more about if they ever got the PvP working better, because that was a big plus for us. The bunch of us that were going were all from Dark Age Camelot. We really enjoyed that combat, and we thought this had a very positive approach to that. And it wasn't there from the words, but from word of mouth, anyways. But even just getting to the point to be able to do the combat was just mind-numbing.
Yeah. Well, the fact that they didn't launch, it was advertised to launch with the X10, and it didn't actually get launched until around about the time I joined it, which is, like I said, 8 or 9 months later.
And that didn't bother me. I'm still not running DX10.
Yeah. But it's amazing that games can get away with that.
Yeah.
It was on the box, apparently, too. I didn't buy the box version, but it said it even on the box. And
it's like getting hired into a place and them telling you they got 401k, and then when you start working there, they go, oh, by the way, we don't have 401k.
Yeah, exactly.
I like those new commercials on TV with the little kids saying, with the fire truck or the bike and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
So funny.
You can ride this bike, and then she tries to ride it out of the square, and the guy said, no. Didn't you read the fine print? You have to stay inside the square.
I think the fat kid's face was just absolutely hilarious with the truck.
Oh,
just
yeah.
the way he looked at him.
What?
The funny thing about this is the 2 free subscriptions here. The communities are polar opposite. LotRO probably has the best community I've seen of any game, especially the Landreval server, which is the unofficial role-playing, or it may have been an official role-playing server. The community there was really friendly, really helpful from the first moment I logged in, and then the exact opposite on Conan. I had to turn off the general chat. There was more racism and general asshattery.
Yeah, man. Conan was awful, but I think that's because they had a free trial not too long ago. I think it was before I reinstalled XP on, or reinstalled Windows on this. I had tried out some free trial they had. Man, the community is awful in that game.
Yeah, there's something about big breasts and them being able to be naked and blood.
What?
Oh yeah,
I wasn't paying
it's
attention.
Surprising that Carr is not, or TJ is not playing Conan because there's
religiously.
I've never been a fan of the Conan series, so
you're talking,
I did not know that there were boobs.
Yeah, you're talking blood, decapitation, and boobs.
Biggins.
Well, no, you had me on boobs.
So that's a lifetime sub right there for you.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of jackasses playing that game, though. I mean, I don't care if they're.
Well, that's why I'm not there.
Oh, that's why. Yeah. But I don't know. That was a huge demotivator for me.
Yeah,
I know we've talked about that several times, but I just, for the life of me, cannot fathom what motivates people to act like that on the internet. Like, I mean, honestly, the anonymity thing, I can't say
anonymity.
But thank you. But
yeah,
wow, just wow. That's all I got really to say about it.
Yeah, it was insane. It was I'd never. I mean, even the worst sort of moments. Everyone always brings up Baron's chat from WoW.
Oh, it's
And
worse than Baron's Jet.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
I can take Chuck Norris jokes. I can't take the racism that's on that.
Agreed.
Yeah, exactly.
But moving on, Star Trek Online. I have not been following this game. I don't know if anybody in here has. I'm not very motivated or very hyped to play the game. I'm not a huge Star Trek fan. Just the interesting thing that came out this week was that it's going to be released in February.
But you've got a question mark there.
It was a question mark and exclamation point. Like, really?
Yeah, like
It's
all of
released
a
in
sudden.
February. That's just very, very soon. It doesn't seem like it's been in. I mean, I know it was. I believe it was in development with another studio at one time, and then brought over to Cryptic. I don't know if it was like I can't remember if it was a buyout or how exactly that happened. But regardless, supposedly I thought Cryptic said that they started fresh with it, but who knows? But yeah, it's supposed to be coming out in February, and just the one or two videos I have seen of that, it looks all like pew pew. We're playing laser tag against the Klingons. It's not my cup of tea, anyways. But just nothing seemed interesting about that.
You just get the
I'm
feeling
halfway
there's no
tempted.
soul.
What's that?
You just get the feeling there's no soul to it. And
Yeah.
I look at it and I see no love. I see no soul. I see and again, I could be totally wrong because I'm just seeing screenshots and half-ass videos.
Right.
But I get the feeling that it's like people going through the motions. This is how to make an MMO with, and we understand what the Star Trek genre looks like, and we pieced it all together, and here it is.
It's almost like they're trying to make a Star Trek game for non-Star Trek fans and not doing very well at it when they should be having a ton of people in that studio that are huge Star Trek fans picking apart that game.
Yep.
And
See, I was
making,
just
no,
wondering,
this doesn't really feel like Star Trek.
If you're going to make an MMO off of a movie or TV show IP, you need to be catering to that niche audience and just go for that. And then put in some extra things that might pull in some of the people on the fence. But that's where your money's going to be because you're not going to get the people from WoW. They're going to say, oh, well, let's try another MMO. This sucks.
Yeah.
And then they're going to go away because they have no idea. And then you're going to lose the people from the niche audience, too.
Yeah.
I was just going to ask that because I was wondering. I mean, apparently you guys are against, but just to be clear, do you guys think the Trekkies will attract to it, or do you think they'll try it out?
I don't know.
I'm sure everyone will try. I'm sure they'll try it out. I mean, the
Some of them
folks
will, yeah.
that are the people who came up with the Next Generation or any of the other ones down the road might want to try it out. I mean, let's face it, the original Star Trek's kind of old, and I know a few folks that are in their 40s, 50s that are playing MMOs, but not likely. So you're looking more for the people in the 30s who did Next Generation.
It's like I look at my uncle. My uncle is a huge Star Trek fan. He is like, I don't know, I can't explain how big of a fan he is to you guys. And he does play some video games. Not like a ton. I know he plays a lot of space shooters and stuff. But I don't see, like watching that. I don't see that there's any way in hell that he'll play that game.
Just the bulk of the niche audience just might be a little too old for it for video games.
Yeah, he's in his
Maybe.
30s, and
Well,
I don't see that there's any way that he'll play that game. He's not a big MMO player anyways, but just the lore of Star Trek might get him interested. But after looking at that game, I don't see there's any way to do for him to be into that.
Yeah, I think I'm going to save my sci-fi craze for Old Republic. Cross my fingers, BioWare.
Yeah, I'm actually working on a article. Did it go up? No, it actually went up today. I forgot that I had scheduled it to go up today. But yeah, I had put up an article today about a little worry that I have about Star Wars. So
Definitely a Star Wars fan at heart, big time.
Oh,
Can't be a Sith, so.
Oh, mortal enemy.
I might play Star Trek if I can go around and screw hot alien
The
chicks.
Trekkies. Oh.
No, hot alien chicks.
I mean, Kirk got all the green poontang you could think of.
Exactly. That's what I want.
Age of Conan mixed with Star Trek.
All right.
Sorry.
Anyways, TF2 this week. I think, I don't know, 3 of us in here met up, didn't we?
Yep.
Friday. All right. It was good. We had us 3, and Rare showed up, and Dr. Gob jumped in, and I made him, or somebody made him player of the week. I don't remember if I did or not. I think I made.
Yay,
you know
Dr.
what? I think I
Gob.
made Car Player of the Week, and then just a few days later, somebody else made Dr. God Player of the Week. So yay, both of you.
Both of you. You guys gotta have a face-off.
I'm sure Dr. God would hand me my arse in TF2.
It was a good time though. I was like
Oh, it was a
tired
good
as
time.
I was tired as hell for some reason, but yeah, it was a good time.
Monday was the only day that was actually reasonable this week, and I had a great time.
And you got something.
I did. I got my first hat. Well, let me rephrase. I got my first hat that wasn't the, hey, you didn't cheat and get a hat.
Which one did you get?
I got the one with the initials engraved in it, so
Oh,
like kind of the bent stovepipe.
The Gibbous, the one from the
Yeah.
Halloween event. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that one
So-
too, actually.
I was sitting there, I'm like, damn. I had no idea, because I guess you had to be dominating somebody, and I'm like, I'm not that good. I don't understand.
I think you had to be dominating somebody that had the hat.
Yes.
I think. Yeah.
And I'm not that good.
Were you playing against Zelly?
No.
No, I don't remember. We were playing on. I obviously wasn't on the control point server, because I mean we play over there. I play over there a lot when I've got to jump on for like half an hour.
Right.
And if I jump on before we play our Monday games, I jump on there, and always without fail, I am in the bottom of the heap. The guys on control point server. I mean, I haven't been playing that long. I played for a little bit and then stopped, and then I played once we all start getting back into it, and they're obviously well out of my league, but I still have a good time. But we were playing on a couple different servers, and I can't remember which servers we were playing on right now, but I want to say they were probably more casual folks, people who do other things similar to us, because I don't want to say that I was kicking arse, but I was doing better than I had ever had, and maybe it was because I was also playing sober. I don't know. It could have been a combination of factors on that one.
See, it's weird. It's like
start.
maybe it was because I was tired or what, but I wasn't doing too hot that night, like at all. I think most of you guys were doing better than I was.
No, I think you actually only managed to kill me once that night instead of the average 4 or 5.
I was trying. I was gunning for you. But no, I was actually playing on. I had been like this last weekend. I was playing a lot of TF2 for some reason. I like got into this kick about it, and I was on the CP server like every night last weekend, one point or another. And at one point, there was actually a guy on there that friended me afterwards. His name was Atlas. And I actually just saw a couple minutes ago he actually just jumped on to TF2. Evidently, I have a shiny back because he kept backstabbing me as when I was playing a heavy. So I swear to God, man, that dude hit me like 5 or 6 times in a row, and probably about damn near the same spot. And a couple times I was looking for him, and I could not pick him out. And he got me probably like 5 or 6 times. He backstabbed me, and we had a running joke that evidently I have a large shiny back.
Hey, out of curiosity, you were playing the heavy, and I think you were on a sniper for a while, and you were playing everything but your demo, man.
On Monday night?
Yeah, Monday
Yeah,
night.
I don't know. I was not having a good... I think I started as the demo man, but I was not doing good. Either that, or I saw that there was like 2 or 3 other demo, so I was just like, no way, I'm gonna like fill up the team with demo men. So I think I switched to a heavy, and I wasn't doing a damn bit of good as a heavy, so I just started really mixing it up. I think towards the end I started playing a medic though. I can't remember, but I was playing something towards the end and actually started doing well. But by that time, I think we were all getting tired, and I took off. So. Yeah,
I gotta do something like that and get out of my comfort zone. I always play the pyro, and I should try something different.
Right. I mean, right now I'm kind of in between the demo and the heavy. I've always played the demo. I think knocked past 75 hours on the demo, and I never was a big fan of the heavy. And I think I mentioned this on a couple podcasts ago that I've really started doing well on the heavy for some reason. So I've been playing him, but I think I might switch over and start playing the engineer more. I don't know. There seems to be a real lacking of numbers of engineers lately. I don't know why it is. Most of the servers have been jumping on. There's only ever been like one engineer on a defensive team, and it's like maybe I should try getting better at it. I'm not good with the engineer, but need to play it to get better at it. But I mean, what's your guys' favorite classes?
Yeah, I love pyro. It's probably the cheese ball choice, but I can't help it. I mean, running around and watching people run away from you because you right in their face with the flame. There's just something fun about that. It doesn't take much skill. It's just avoid dying before you can get in front of their faces and let loose.
Well, you can put some skill to that class. I mean, if you use the standard flamethrower, you can shoot back rockets and stuff.
You can?
Yeah. The
I'm so fucking lame.
No, the standard flamethrower has the alternate fire, which is the air blast.
The air puff.
Yeah, the air blast. It does. You can actually push sticky bombs. You can put out people that are on fire on your team, and if you can time it right, if a soldier shoots a rocket at you, you can actually fire. You can hit the air blast at it and fire it back.
I apologize to anyone who's ever been on a team with me.
Actually, the air puff to put out other people on fire, I found is the most effective use of that thing. That's the reason I still use the standard flamethrower when I play my pyro.
Using the air blast actually takes, I can't remember how much flame, like 20 or 25.
Yeah, it's 20 or 25.
And it eats it up if you use it a lot, but if you're good with it, usually most people I think hold on to it to put people out, because especially like if you got a scout running up to you that's on fire, I mean that saves his life pretty much.
Right.
So if a scout's on fire, he's going to die.
I wonder how many people have run up to me.
Oh my God! Why aren't you putting me? Why do you have a back burner? Oh my God!
Nerd raging from the computer because Grok has no idea what's going on.
That's the one thing.
Sorry.
Not to turn this completely into another complaining thing, but that's the thing that does bother me about TF2 is the sort of nerd rage. You know, you always hear it. It's like, why doesn't one of those spies become a medic or something like that? And it's just
because they're having fun playing the game the way they want to play it, and that's the point.
That's not so bad on the CP server, though. I found.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's pretty good.
No. I've actually found that they're very good about being creative with their assistants. Yeah. They'll say, hey, listen, why don't you try this? And one guy, I was on there, and I was playing an NG, and I love the NG. It's a fun class to play. But I built a sentry, and the guy's saying, no, don't put it there. I've got one already covering this entire field of view. Go over yonder. And I looked at him like, well, shit, that makes a whole lot of sense. And it was a map I hadn't played much before. They're very helpful over there. When you get on some random server and some punk-ass kids who just say, you idiot, no, it doesn't go there, and then ignore you the rest, and it's doesn't help the community for the game.
Right.
It doesn't.
Which is why I really like the CP server. Yeah. But overall, to answer your earlier question, probably my favorite class is the sniper. It's also the one I probably have the most playtime on.
Yeah.
I really enjoy playing it when I can find a good map to play it on. There's a couple that I was just sitting on. I was sat in the same position, just moving back and forth between 3 or 4 different windows, popping people with headshots. I'm like, yeah, this is a great time. Then I got backstabbed by a spy. But hey, you take what you can get. I'm focused through this little scope, and I'm not going to see a spy come up behind me, whether he was cloaked or not, or disguised.
Yeah. I did actually have a tip of the week this week, if you can believe it or not.
Is it like playing the game just a tip, or is it an actual tip?
It's an actual tip, and it's what I'm going to call it the Steve's. You probably already knew this tip.
If it's about pyros, no, I didn't.
Obviously.
Well, for anybody outside of this room that plays TF2, probably already knows this, but I found quite useful actually as a heavy. If you get bonked by a scout, just back up a little bit. As a heavy, if you have the minigun out, the alternate fire actually rotates the barrel, but does not fire. Then you can hit the main mouse button to actually fire it. If you're bonked as a heavy, you can still use the alternate fire and wind the gun.
Ooh!
Even if you're bonked.
So that once you're unbonked.
Yes, once you are unbonked, you can automatically start firing.
Cool.
And that's come in handy quite a few times. There's been a couple scouts that have bonked me. I'll start the alternate fire and spinning the barrel. He'll run up to me, get a couple shots off, but not kill me in time. If he's a terrible shot, he won't kill me in time, and I'll become unbonked, and I'll already have my targeting reticle right on him, and I'll just blast him to smithereens.
You said rectical.
I said rectical. But yeah, I mean, if it's a scout that actually can aim his gun, then you're going to be dead anyways, because like a couple shots from that thing at close range, you're gone. But if he's keeping too much range and not hitting you properly, you can usually get in just in time to blast him away. So that's my interesting tip for the day. But everybody that's listening probably already knew that.
Actually, I did not know that, and I do actually enjoy playing the heavy too.
There you go. Use that. If you get bonked, just keep that right finger going.
Most of the time, I'm dead before I have a chance to get bonked, so it doesn't really matter.
Well, most of the time, there's been quite a few times. I mean, when I get bonked, I'm typically dead. But there's been a few instances where they haven't killed me, and I've just by chance had my headphones on one night playing, and still had my finger locked down onto the right trigger, and I could hear it still spinning. And I was like, "What the hell?" So I became unbonked, and my barrel was actually spinning. I was like, "Oh shit!" And then I just figured I'd share that. So I don't know if that's supposed to be in there or not. I imagine not, but hopefully it stays.
I'm sure Valve is listening to our podcast.
Oh yeah.
And they're saying, "Shit, that's a bug we gotta fix."
Well, if it gets fixed next week, they do, which they don't. So, but that is all we got. I don't believe we have any listener feedback this week.
I actually didn't check the Multiplaying website.
Oh, I checked the email, and there was no feedback. So,
write to us, people. Write to us.
Yeah, please. We're lonely.
Please.
But we're gonna leave with that. So everybody, have a great day.
Thank you all.
Well, it's actually an evening, but have a great night.
Or whenever you're listening to this, have the great rest of whatever.
Bye.
Yeah, and bye-bye. Bye. Have a good one.
Well, gentlemen, no point in hanging around this dump any longer.
Wait! Where are you going? I was going to make a spread.
Show's over, folks.
You can't go! All the plants are going to die.
Take off, eh?
Thanks for listening to Multiplaying, the companion podcast at multiplaying.net. Questions, comments, feedback, errors, etc. can be sent to multiplaying@gmail.com. We invite you to write a review on iTunes and visit our website at www.multiplaying.net.
We've made a lot of friends, shared a lot of laughs, often at the expense of others.
I think some people are going to be upset. Thank you and good night.
Multiplaying is a proud member of the Dead Workers Party Network. This and other fine podcasts can be found at www.deadworkers.com/network.